Welcome to Chapman Academy. This is a platform for you to learn about research writing. Because what I know about research is if you don't know what you are doing, research becomes so difficult and tedious for you because you send your draft to your supervisor and then the person will tell you put this, add that. Because you don't know what you are doing, and you become so frustrated that you even wish that you didn't go to the school or you didn't start the project at all. That's why I've created this opportunity for you to learn more and understand research writing, because when you know what you are doing, you become very attractive to research writing, and then you always wish you are into a project because you understand what you are doing and then you appreciate the beauty of research writing. So today I'm going to teach you how to use randomized control trial in your study. So if you want to do any project on randomized control trial, I'm coming to teach you how to do it and then how you can understand the rudiments in using randomized control trial. So we are in the research methodology aspect, which is the chapter 3. We've done several types of study design. Then today we are going to do randomized control trial. So I recommend you subscribe to Chapman Academy. You share with your friends, share with everybody to join and learn about research writing. Subscribe to Chapman Academy whilst you grow and advance yourself in research writing. So today I'm going to talk about randomized control trials. So if you want to do randomized control trial or you want to get more insight about randomized control trial, stick with me as I'm going to teach you step by step so that you'll be able to understand how to use randomized control trials in your study. So with randomized control trial, it is an experimental study design where participants are randomly allocated into one or more groups. So you have a group that will be for intervention and then a group for control. So that is randomized control trial. So the difference between randomized control trial and then cohort study is that randomized control trial, there is randomization and then also there is an intervention. You give some people intervention and then other people too, you don't give them intervention. Then at the end of the project, you try to analyze and see what happened. So the significance between someone being on an intervention and then other person not being on an intervention. So most of the time, intervention groups will mostly receive a drug or vaccine, then a behavioral intervention. So let's say we will look at people who do physical activity against people who do not do any physical activity, or you give these people a diet and then the other people you will not give them that diet. So that is the behavioral aspect. And then procedure, so we can give some people medical procedures like surgery and then others too will not receive the surgery. Then we will see how far these people are improving on their health, so that at the end of the project you will be able to know the significance between someone going through a medical intervention or surgery and then the people who did not go through surgery. And then the next one is test for medical device. So let's say you give other people BP monitor and then others will not receive BP monitor. Then you will be at the end of the study, you will be able to check that, oh okay, so those that they were given the intervention, that is the BP monitor, they were able to manage their BP level. And then those that they were not given the BP monitor, their BP level is still high. This will be from the results that you get. So these are some of the things that goes in randomized control trial. So you give other people intervention, others too, you don't give them intervention. Test for a device. So we want to test to see how much drivers consume energy drink. So you will give some drivers saloon cars, and then others too, you give them heavy duty cars. Then we will compare to see that, oh, okay, so those that they drive heavy duty cars, they normally take in energy drinks, and then those that they drive saloon cars sometimes take energy drinks. So these are the comparisons that we will do. So the heavy duty car will be our intervention, and then the saloon cars will be the control. So at the end of the project, we will be able to run statistical analysis to see if there is a relationship between drivers who drive heavy duty cars and then with their choice for going for energy drinks. And you will see that, oh, okay, so this is the relationship between these particular drivers with heavy duty cars and then the people with saloon cars. And then the key features of randomized control trial. So in randomized control trial, we have the randomization, which is the basis of randomized control trial. So in the randomization, you can do simple random. So simple random, let's say you want to recruit people into your study, that is drivers into your study. Then you make sure that all the drivers are qualified to join your study based on the exclusion and then inclusion criteria that your study was set. So let's say you've gotten 500 drivers and then you want to give 250 saloon cars and then 250 heavy duty cars. But you can't just pick people, that would be biased. So you need to put in a sampling method, how you will sample these people. So you can write 1 to 100, 1 to 500 on a piece of paper. Then the people will pick them randomly. So those that they will pick odd numbers will be given the saloon car, and then those that they will pick even numbers will be given the heavy duty, or those that they will pick from 250, from 1 to 250 will be given the saloon car, and then from the other 250 will be given the heavy duty car. So it will depend on the basis that you set, but you need to make sure that each of them have equal chance of being selected to either the intervention group or the control group. So that is the simple random sampling. And then also you can get the computer generated, so you can keep their names. You type their names in the machine, and then you ask the machine algorithm to group them, to randomly group them into two, which one will be the intervention group, the ones that will be given the heavy duty car, and then the others that will be given the saloon car. And then also we have the stratified. So the stratified is like you putting them into stratas. So let's say drivers from community A will be put on intervention group, and then drivers from community B will put on the control group. So that one too is one of the aspects of randomized control trial. So you write community A on a paper and then community B on a paper. Then you can put it in a box, then you shake it thoroughly. Then you say that maybe when you put a criteria that when you the number that you pick or the alphabet that you pick from the box, that will be part of the intervention group. So let's say when you pick A from the box, it means that those that they are in community A will be at the intervention group. And then when you pick B, it means that those that they are in community B will be putting into the intervention group, so that there will be a fair selection to prevent bias. And then also we have comparison. So you can compare the intervention arm and then the control arm to see the effect. So you compare the intervention arm and then the control arm. So if it is caffeine that you want to see, is it that those that they drive or among saloon car drivers and then heavy duty drivers, which of them take more caffeine? So you give these people this car, the saloon car, and then you give the other people the heavy duty car. So at the end of the day, you'll be able to compare. You compare to see if there is association between you driving heavy duty and then your level of consumption of caffeine, or there is association between those that they drive saloon car and then their reference to caffeine. And at the end of the day, you'll be able to look at this balance and then compare to know the significance between the two groups. Then we have blinding. Blinding is a very broad aspect of randomized control trial. So I will just give an introduction of blinding here. So I have a lesson on blinding in detail. So in blinding, we have several types of blinding. Then we have the single blinding, the double blinding, and then the triple blinding. These are the three popular blinding types. So with the single blinding, it means that it is the intervention that you are giving, the people doesn't know. So maybe it is drug that we are testing for its efficacy. So the groups, the people that we are giving them the drug, they don't know which of the drug is the intervention, or drug A or B is the intervention. Like the drivers, they don't know that heavy duty car is the intervention or the saloon car is the intervention. So they don't know. So that is the single blinding. So the single blinding, it means that the participants don't know the type of intervention that they are being given. And then the double blinding, those that they are doing the study. So the researchers, they don't know the type of intervention that they are giving, as well as the participants also, they don't know. So the researcher doesn't know that this intervention, the drug A or drug B is the intervention. They don't know. And then to the triple, it means that the participant doesn't know, the researchers doesn't know, and then also the sponsors doesn't know. It is only the manufacturer who know about which type of drug is the intervention, and then the other is the placebo that they are giving. So when you come to the classification, we have preventive trial, and then therapeutic or clinical trial. So with the preventive trial, it is an intervention given to healthy or high risk individual to prevent disease. So this one, it is just a trial that we are doing to prevent the occurrence of a disease. So most of the preventive trials are vaccine. We are giving vaccine. So that is polio vaccine that we normally give to children under 5.